Can kick it off. Let me record. Okay, welcome to our team call. I'm super excited. Jamie's gonna be going over kind of like a content workshop because it's really important for us to be posting every single day, whether you can do it just once a day or even better twice a day. And it's always like, okay, well, what do I post? And then we're posting like the same kind of fitness stuff over and over again. And then no one's really able to relate. They're like, oh, great, another fitness post. And so it's really important to be able to have other ideas and kind of a system flowing of like, okay, what am I gonna post, whatever. So Jamie's got some awesome content for us for that. Real quick, I just want to remind you all about Super Saturday. If you have not bought your ticket yet, make sure you do so. At the Madison, Wisconsin one, we know Carl Deichler is our special guest. I'm super excited. Again, that's April 7th. And Jamie, when is your guys' on Saturday?
Yes.
You're unmuted.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, nope, you're totally fine. I don't know who's all in your area, if anyone watches the recording.
Yeah, it's on the same day. My one coach who's here isn't around. Minnesota, I don't know. You would have to look. Just look. You can find him on the Coach Online office always. So.
Yes. Okay. Make sure you get to Super Saturday. These are huge, especially if you're trying to grow your business, which obviously if you're on this call, I know you are. So I'm just going to hand it over to Jamie and let's get some good.
Okay. So I wanted to do this for myself also, because I know I totally slack at posting. I totally try to post twice every day, and I definitely don't do that. And so I know for myself, like if I don't have stuff created, it's a lot harder for me to post something, and then I'm just like trying to throw together something, and it's just, I like to have them created ahead of time. So I figured I could go through that, because it's like when you sit down and you're like, okay, what am I going to write about? Especially if you want to plan out more than one, you're like, where do I start? I know I do. I'm like, I don't even know what to post about. I'll just like start looking through my photos and be like, oh, is there a picture I can use? But if we have actual content created, we're going to, our posts are going to be more valuable. So I'm going to go through a little slideshow. I mostly am just going to ask you guys some questions and have you guys write some stuff down. So make sure you have a pen and a paper. Okay. Can you see my screen? Awesome. Okay. So I'm just going to have you guys ask yourself some questions right off the bat, just to get your brain flowing. And if you guys didn't watch the National Wake Up Call, I literally got some of this from the National Wake Up Call. And I texted Megan and I was like, oh my gosh, we need to do something. So if you haven't watched that or listened to it, do that. I'll talk about a lot of the stuff, but she does it in her own way and she does really good. So listen to that. So first thing I want you to write down is we're just going to take a minute, and I'm going to do this too. We're just going to take a minute and write down every word that describes you, your personality, your beliefs, your morals, your values, everything that you can think of. So we're just going to do that for a minute. Go. I'll tell you guys when to stop. Okay, so I'm going to have everyone stop. You can always do more later. I like really struggle with those. I don't know about you guys, but I really struggle with writing down like adjectives about myself. But I want you to go ahead and circle all of those that you would want in a coach or a customer. So, like for me, I have hardworking. That's something I want in my coaches and customers. So, circle all the ones that you would like in a person. There's probably going to be a lot of them because you probably didn't write down things you don't like about yourself. And those are going to be adjectives you just want to use more in your post. So like for me, I have like, I'm really clean. I'm like a super type A clean person. So I can like start talking about that more because I'll attract people that are like me. Hardworking. I'm super adventurous. I love going outside and doing new things. So those adjectives are things that you just want to use more in your post, not that you necessarily want to rev up your post around, although you can, but just words that you want to use more in your posts. Another question, so just take a second to write this down, is why did you join this team, whether you're on my team or Megan's team? Why did you choose to join not only Beachbody, but also this team? So just take a second and write that down. And then next, I want you to write down who were you before Beachbody. So what are like some things you were before you joined? For me, I know I was, I was a student, I was a waitress, I was overweight, I was depressed, I had anxiety. So just some words like that. It can be anything, but just some things, who you were before you joined Beachbody. All right, next, I'm going to have you write down what has Beachbody done for you in any way? So physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. This should be a long list, especially if you've been doing this for a while. But even if you're new, even if you're a brand new coach, you've met new friends, you've lost 2 pounds, all those things. Maybe you've only made $30, but the $30 filled up your gas tank. You know what I mean? Things like that. So what are some things that Beachbody has done for you? All right, next question. I have 2 more. So the next one is, what struggles have you had on your journey? This can be your coaching journey, your health journey, any of it. Just what struggles have you had since you started with Beachbody? Okay, and then the last one is just something to do. I was trying to think of more like things you can post about, and just to get your brain thinking. So for me, like, what do you do on your days off? A lot of people, that'll tell you a lot about them. I love to go like hiking on my days off, things like that. So if you have a day off and you don't have a bunch of stuff to do, like, what do you do if it's your choice? Okay, so those are just like all some things, whether you just did bullet points of words or whatever, that you can write about. So for me, like, I definitely have like depression and anxiety and like self-care in here a lot, because that's like a huge thing that has changed for me. And so that's one thing I know I should post about even more, probably. Just all sorts of things, and a lot of the things like before Beachbody and then the after Beachbody, or what they've done for you. You can use both of those in the same post and just connect the dots between them, and how Beachbody is like help you bridge that gap, because that's what a lot of this is. And just sharing that on social media is always, always a good thing. So other types of posts, other than, you don't, obviously not all of them have to be about Beachbody. So tips, how-tos, and recipes. I definitely recommend doing this of some sort, whether it's like a workout video that someone can actually follow and do at home. Recipes, I know I should post more recipes, because people always tell me they love my recipes. I'm just too lazy to type them out sometimes. And I eat a lot of the same stuff, but people love them, so I should do more. How to do anything. It doesn't have to be health related at all. Just random tips. And this is not even just on your like Facebook or Instagram, but even like your stories. Like I did one of my apps I use for my road trips, like for gas. I just did like a couple different things on my Instagram story, like when I was road tripping, just because that's something I use, and why not share that? That's what we do. We just, share things with people. So just random tips like that, how-tos, recipes, inspiration. I try really hard to do some sort of inspiration at least like every other day, because I also get a lot of people messaging me and telling me, even after I message them and invite them, or even if they're like, no, now's not a good time, but I love your post, like they definitely motivate me to go to the gym, even though they're doing something else. That's something I want to keep doing. So inspiration's big for me. You definitely want to do some type of engagement post. So whether you're asking questions on, what shoes look better with this outfit, or what's your favorite type of water bottle, or I don't know, whatever. You can literally ask any question, something that's going on in your life. So people will comment below, and you can comment back, and all those comments and all that stuff is super good, so more people will see your stuff. Also, funny stuff. I don't really post a lot of funny stuff, but if you want to, that's totally cool. Lifestyle, family posts. Like I said, I like to post like hiking stuff, just, with your spouse or your kids or whatever. People like to see that. So putting that out there, whether you have a big caption with it or just something small, either way is fine. Those are things people like to see. And then breadcrumbs, which is like kind of like coaching posts, giving a little hint about coaching, and then call to actions. Which is obviously calling someone to join you in a group or in the coaching opportunity. So make sure you're getting different types of posts. You don't want to do only one post a day and have it every day be a workout selfie with an inspirational quote. People are going to get sick of that. So make sure you switch it up and get different types of posts in there. And you don't want to just do, like 3 lifestyle posts in a row and then 2 engagement posts. You want to make sure that we're kind of scheduling them out in a better way. So I want you guys to go in the chats. I don't know if we really talked about 5 describing words. So we're going to do this quick is, I'm still screen share. Okay, so I want you to either, if you take them out of those words you wrote from the very beginning, or you just take a second and think about words that describe you, who you are. This is like huge. A lot of coaches talk about it. Anyone on branding talks about it. You have to have words that describe you. So for me, it took me a while to narrow them down. And at first I only had like 3, and then I had like 7. And then I was like, okay, I narrowed it down. So mine are dog mom, nature lover / adventurer. I like to be outside and do crazy things. I'm kind of a clean freak, which I got to figure out a better word for that, but I'm really like OCD about like organization and all that, like super crazy. Mental health and just fitness in general, and then foodie. I love food. So those are my 5 things that I'm going to focus on when I am posting. Like I want to post about those 5 things on my Facebook, on my Instagram story, on my Snapchat. Those are the things I want to post about, because if all of a sudden I start doing all these other things, people get lost. People like to see a common theme, but also a variety. So take a minute and think about your 5 words. What 5 words would you be, or what 5 words would you want to use? So just take a second and think about that. And once you come up with 5, or even if you only have 3 for now to start with, put them in the chat so we know you have your words. I'll do mine. Oops. So even if you guys just have like 1 or 2, go ahead and throw them in the comments. Awesome. These are really good. You guys are doing awesome. The one thing I want to say about some of these, obviously, like just looking here, you can see like dog mom is so common. So I like to use that, obviously, and do, because people love dogs, but just like be aware for some of the words, and even like girl mom, because those words are just like a lot of coaches' words, if that makes sense. So not that don't use them, but make sure if you're doing like hashtags or something like that, that you're being a lot more like unique or specific or whatever. Just a heads up, because I know when I do like anything, trying to look for dog moms on any type of dog on Facebook, all I find is coaches or Instagram. But so just be aware of that. But that's awesome. Okay, let me see if I had anything else. Oh, I was gonna go through and show you guys some examples. I'm gonna share my screen again. Oops. Good. Can you see me? Awesome. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you some examples of just some posts of me and Megan's. I just pulled them off. So these are two of mine. I talk about stress and just like a little bit of, inspiration, because those are two things that I have really struggle with, and it's just, and reminding people to breathe. That's just a quick little inspiration, and I like to do those. They don't always have to be super long, and that's even kind of long. But keeping them short is totally okay. A lot of people say you have to earn the long posts, and I know I forget that sometimes, because sometimes it's like, how do you make it short and sweet? But if you can, those are gold. And then my next one's kind of like a breadcrumbing post, saying I'm traveling, I'm working, and then saying I like what I do, so it's really not work, because that's true. Sometimes I just want to lay on the couch, but I do enjoy it. It's not like I hate what I do, so that's something I like to say. Here are two of Megan's, just like without pictures, which also do a variety of them. See what works for you. I feel like I don't get a ton if I don't have a picture, so I try to do pictures, but see what works for you. So the top is just a engagement post. So a bunch of people commented below, giving her a bunch of tips and advice, and that's something she actually needs. It's, I'm not getting married, so I wouldn't post that because it would just be dumb. And then the bottom one, I didn't really talk about any of that, but that was a really good like breadcrumbing post into the beach bars coming out. And I just thought that was a really clever way to do it. So I just wanted to share that. These are two that we just kind of, what we're doing on the weekend, like just kind of gave us a little, I didn't really have anything to post. I told him like, I don't know what to post, but I got something out there. I got a little bit of content, and I'm sure she did something similar that day. So just having something like that and actually putting some type of content out without it being too extreme, or, you don't have to take an hour putting it together, but having stuff like that is, it's perfect. And then people can see your family, and people can see, this and that. So having those posts are awesome. And then here are two call to actions. You can do long ones, but then again, some people like short and sweet. So I know if people are buying challenge packs, you literally can say that they can lose 5 to 15 pounds, because if they don't, they can literally get their money back. So don't be afraid to say that, as long as people are getting a challenge pack, obviously. Otherwise, it's not guaranteed. But people do have that money back guarantee, so don't be afraid to say things like that. And don't be afraid to do different types of call to actions. I get probably my best before and afters, but I want to switch it up now and again, because people don't want to see the same thing over and over and over. And schedule it out. So now, quick, I'm going to have you take out another piece of paper, or go on the bottom of a piece of paper and like make a grid. And we're going to literally figure out what you're going to post for the next like 3 days. If you do, I always recommend 2 posts, like really try to do 2 posts. And if you have them scheduled out, it's even better. So maybe you just want to do next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so we have that ready, and figure out what you're going to post. Monday morning, you don't have to like write it out, but Monday morning, if you're going to do a fitness, like a workout video, and then Monday night, you're going to do something about your family. Tuesday, figure out what you're going to do so you have that ready. So even though you don't have it written out, you know what to post. So take a minute and do that. I tried to like create one ahead of time for everyone, but it's really hard to do that. I think it's better for everyone to do their own. Yeah, and Josh Coates does have that posting schedule. For me, I use that. I got really stuck on like those 4 types of posts. Um, and I know it worked really well for some people. I have actually some friends that do that. But I didn't like being stuck to like those only 4 types of posts. But if you do use that, it's just like good to have any sort of layout to follow. So you know what to post. So it's not so hard to like sit down and be like, oh my gosh, what do I post? So here's my next 3 days. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to do something about my dog. Tomorrow night, I'm going to do a recipe. Friday morning, I'm going to do some type of fitness video. Friday night or afternoon, I'm going to do some type of engagement post. And then on Saturday, I think I'm going hiking, so I'm going to do some type of lifestyle post. And I'm going to try really hard to do, like I said, I really struggle with posting twice a day. So my goal is to do twice a day on the weekdays, and then once on the weekends, twice on Sunday, usually if I'm doing a call to action. So you usually want to have something before that. But, if you guys miss a post here and there, don't stress too much out about it, because I know sometimes I do that. So I know there was couple more things I wanted to say. Like I said, don't feel like you have to have a super long post all the time. Feel free to make shorter, sweeter posts. Like I said, people like that. They don't always have to be Beachbody related, and they shouldn't be. Make sure you're posting about other stuff to get people to want to watch your page. They don't just want to see Beachbody. And then think about what do you want to see when you're scrolling, you guys. I think about that a lot as far as like pictures. What do I stop to read? So think about that when you're posting, because you want to be attracting people like you. So what you like is what you should post. And then just make sure, like I said, you go and listen to that wake-up call, because it was really good. And I just want you guys to, what day is it? Wednesday. So by Sunday, I want you to sit down and based off all this stuff, and you can even take more time, ask yourself more questions, but write out 3 to 4 posts by Monday, and like send a screenshot or something to me and Megan. When I write out posts, I go on my phone in the notes folder. I have a folder in my notes folder that's called posts, and then I just like type out my posts in there so I can just copy and paste. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just have some ideas, so you can literally just do that. And then all you need is a picture. So I challenge you to have 3 or 4 by the end of the weekend. Send them to me or Megan, and then try to keep up with the posting schedule, because it'll really help. I know that when I followed it, I was really good about posting, and when I don't have it planned, I just suck. So does anyone have any questions? I feel like there's probably not a lot of questions on that, but that's all I have.
I just wanted to point out quick too, because those engagement booster posts used to work so well, and for the most part they do work really well still, but you have to watch how you word them, because I tried a couple different things out, and if you post things like comment below, Facebook does a really good job at hiding those from news feeds. And I was like, I don't think that's a real thing. Well, I tried it, and I ended up deleting that post because it got 0 engagement. So if you're going to post things like comment below, or when you're asking questions, you have to like be creative when you're doing it. So when you're trying to do engagement posts, think about different creative ways that you can do it. And then I wanted to share mine with you too, so that maybe you can get ideas from like my schedule. And a lot of times I get my posts from my personal development of whatever I'm doing, but I do have this written out here. And so I have this, if I don't have anything, then I'll come back and look at it. But so right now I have like Monday morning mindset or motivation post, Monday later in the evening, something about Blair, like Transformation Tuesday or something about my love life, Tuesday night, a day in the life of a coach or some coach breadcrumbs, Wednesday, something funny, team call type stuff and fitness stuff. Thursday, could do a throwback Thursday, another day in the life of the coach. Friday, do family stuff and something about I love junk food and it's really hard, but I've made the switch. Saturday, I just have one about family, because I don't work really on Saturdays and I want to spend time with my family, so I have it on family. And then Sunday, another breadcrumb about coaching. So this was like awesome. If you have any questions, please ask, because Jamie, this was like awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, I mean, I literally sat down and I literally listened to the wake up call again, because the first time I listened to it, I was kind of distracted. So I listened to it again today. I wrote down like a little bit of stuff, and then I think of other questions that'll like get me to think about my life, because I know how you guys feel like, oh my gosh, I'm boring. Like I go to work and I come home, I sit at home all day, like Megan and I sit home and like work from my computer. Like I don't even get out of my pajamas half the time. So it gets really boring, and I could post that every day, like, oh, I'm working from my pajamas, but people get sick of that. So just like, I know that you feel boring, but taking the time to like write out this stuff, it'll give you stuff to post about that isn't just so repetitive and like, I don't know, blah. Because I know I look back at my old posts sometimes and I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking, but like we post just to post. I don't want you to post just to post. I want you to post with, with an intent. So that's all I have. If no one has any questions, I think we're all done.
Yes, that was awesome. I just want to take a quick Snapchat like we do. If anyone else wants in on this, I know some of you do. Kim's son.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you guys all for hopping on. I love seeing your guys' faces. And we will see you next week, Wednesday. Have a good rest of your night.